Welcome. Yay. Today's lecture, we're going to talk about, you guys don't get the emails because you're new, but I do send out emails with lecture topics, so I suspect that you know what it is.
Byron.
No, it's not no. The actual...
I'm wrong.
You jackass.
Damn it, I failed you.
You totally failed me, because the topic of today, right, is the best Go channel.
Oh, sorry.
And some of you might think, well, Nick, that's you, right? I'm saying, no, you're confusing the sexiest Go channel with the best Go channel. All right, have you seen this outfit? Black jeans, blue shirt. This is hot. But no, we're talking about the best YouTube channel, which I'm going to tell you is Dwyron's channel. How many of you guys have seen Dwyron's channel? Dwyron, I have to say, I do win the sexiest Go channel versus Dwyron. I do think. I don't think that's a contest. But as far as being a better Go channel, I think he actually makes really well-rounded group of videos for both beginners and advanced players. He streams on Twitch. He's just producing a lot of Go content on a weekly basis. And I would say that even, this Go channel, my Go channel would not exist if it weren't for him. Because when I was starting out, basically he was the guy in the videos I was watching, and I was like, I could do that. And so it very directly inspired me. And so, today we're gonna do a video to, I'll say honor him, that's not quite the right word, but we'll say to honor Dwyron, and his contribution to the community. We're gonna do it in the most vicious, inhuman way though, because I saw him play a game, I think it was maybe a week or two ago on his channel, and by the time this gets online, probably like a month ago, on the Fox Go server. And he was just playing this game, he's just doing his normal commentary thing. For those of you who don't know, Dwyron is another YouTube channel. He's a little bit stronger a player than I am. He's just, go look him up. And I won't tell you what happens in the game because we'll try to see some of it now, but I coincidentally also started playing around with the Elf AI. How many of you guys have heard of Elf?
It's Facebook, right?
Yeah, it's the Facebook AI. And this AI is severe. Like if you thought Leela Zero was like, yes, you should only play this move, right? Or if you're looking at AlphaGo and maybe AlphaGo, I guess we don't see AlphaGo's thought process, but at least in terms of like LeelaGo, Lizzie, and some of the other AIs, they tend to be very wishy-washy. They're like, oh, this move is like 46% winning percentage. This move is like 44% winning percentage. Oh, if you play here, that's like 43% chance winning percentage. Like they're very fuzzy. Elf is like, this is the move. You play anything else, you lose the game. And so it's very severe if you're reviewing a game using Elf. Like Elf convinces that you won and lost the game like every other move. Like it's really the ratings graph or the percentage graph just spikes, fluctuates madly. And Leela, if you're using Leela Zero, if Leela Zero does the same thing, but not nearly as bad. Like Leela Zero, like if both players are missing a move on the board, let's say like there's a corner invasion or a corner killing move that both players don't see. Leela Zero graph will go like brap, based on whose turn it is, right? If it's Black's turn and Black misses it, it thinks Black's gonna, if it's Black's turn, it thinks Black's gonna win by 20 points. If it's White's turn, it thinks White's gonna win by 20 points. And so I'll go back and forth like this. But again, on Elf, it's like bam, 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 bam. It's like 99% both directions who it thinks is gonna win. So it's very severe. Andrew Jackson, you guys may have seen on my channel before, he described it as being very sharp. Like it has very defined opinions. And so when I was using Elf for the first time, and I was like, let's just put one of Dwyron's games in it, and let's see how Dwyron does versus Elf. Partially, and I just wanted to have this experience on someone else because at the Go Congress this summer, I got to play against Elf and was just thrashed in that game. And it was just the most demoralizing Go game I've ever played. Not just because I got beaten, but because the AI did not care what I did. Like it was just playing such inhuman sequences of moves. It just refused to respond to anything I did. And anything I responded to, it wouldn't keep playing that move. It would keep tanukiing. And so it was, I want to shake myself from the experience. So anyway, you guys want to see a game of Dwyron as reviewed by myself and Elf?
Yeah.
Gotta ask how strong Elf is.
Mad good. I mean, it's better than Leela Zero, substantially, yeah. So,
Can I ask how strong you and Dwight are?
Yeah, so I'm about American 4 on. Dwight, I don't really know for sure. And partially because he's got accounts like on all sorts of different ranks across different Go servers. If I had to guess right now, I would say he's probably 2 stones stronger than I am, but I'm not certain. Let's say on one of my good days, one of his bad days, we're probably within a stone. But if he's having a good day and I'm having a bad day, maybe it's 3 stones. I don't know. Go ask Tyron, see what he says. If you're watching this channel, just go on Dwyer's channel, just ask, how strong are you compared to Nick Sibicky, and see what he says. I don't know. Okay, so anyway, we're gonna review a game that this game was already featured. I actually feel bad because this game was already on the best YouTube channel, right? Like I'm just getting sloppy seconds here, like picking a game you already played. In this game, Dwyer is black, and we're definitely going to see some differences between human style play and AI style play. Like we'll have some robot versus human kind of preferences. If you're black, what do you play?
Closing the corner seems fine, the upper left.
This one?
Approaching the bottom left seems fine as well.
This one?
Both of those are fine.
This one?
I mean, the one I would probably play is the small knight, but all those seem fine.
Yeah, this is probably the most human.
That's not how I play too.
This is fine. This is called Orthodox Sibicky. This is historical. This is fine. Robots are fine with this. Like it's like no robot plays this, but if you play it and you ask the robot to analyze it, they're like, yeah, it's fine. So if the robot was going to enclose it, it tends to like this one a little bit more. But again, it depends on which robot. But yeah, this is for a long time been the most natural move because this is another Fuseki. What Fuseki does this set up? Does anyone know this name?
Is that one of the Chinese ones?
Is it one of the Chinese ones? Yes.
Like the micro or I don't know the.
Yeah, if white backs off, and again, Dwyer's opponent doesn't do that, you can play here for the mini Chinese, you can play here for the micro Chinese, and both of these were very fashionable over the last 15 years. So these were both, and still actually get played today. These are still both current Fuseki, but with AI, AIs they also, again, like, I don't know, they like Sente, they like enclosures more than these large extensions. But again, it sort of depends on the flavor of it. Either way, Dwyer's opponent does not play this. Dwyer's opponent plays here. Is this a move?
Not for me.
Not for you? This is the widest, quote unquote, traditional pincer. And a normal result looks something like this. This is not what happens in the game. But you'd expect black to jump in the corner, get a bunch of points. And then since this stone is here, white actually has a very nice time expand. Whoops, I missed a move. Well, I guess that's in place here. White has a very nice time expanding and building off of this wall because the stone is further back. You don't usually see white if black has something like this, right? Because you want that wall to reach across the go board. But in this position, this is very nice for white. They don't play this. This never happens. Now this would be a normal, traditional kind of expectation. Do you think Elf likes this?
No.
Elf does not particularly like this. Do you want to know what Elf wants to do?
Go invade a 3/3.
Close. Yeah, Elf's just like, hey, you're approaching me, I'm approaching you. And for humans, like, you have to feel some cognitive dissonance because you're setting up a fighting situation on this board, right? Like white, black, white, black. Like there's no harmony here. And if there's no harmony, that should imply that the person whose move it is will have an advantage, right? Because if black plays here, this is both helping attack the stone and supporting this stone. Think of a move like this. Even if black doesn't want to do this directly, maybe black does a few other moves first and then gets the center point. It's black's move next. So it often feels like, in this case, it's to the person who plays first advantage, which is why you don't usually see an approach matched by another counter approach or an invasion matched by an invasion, right? This is, but Elf, his conclusion is basically, hey, there's too much space here, I can do this. And so you destroy me, I destroy you. And this is actually a very small mistake by Elf. It thinks this is an 8% difference in the percentage. One of the remarkable things about this AI versus all the other AIs that I've come across, at the very, very start of the game, these other AIs tend to favor one of the colors. Do you know which favor most robots think is in the lead at the beginning of the game? It's white. The robots think, most robots, there's Dan. Dan has made an appearance snoring, as promised. We know what's going to happen. Anyway, the robots think Comey is too big. At least most robots. Not Elf. Elf is really one of the first of this latest generation of AIs who actually, at least in my very primitive build of the weights of it, thinks black is in the lead at the very start of the game. So that's just a fun fact. Maybe someone running it on a faster machine, letting it run through like a few million more cycles than I am will have it spit out a different answer eventually. But intuitively, if you just let it run through, a few dozen thousand cycles of variations, it will come up with at least on my machine, like a 51% chance for black at the start of the game. So Elf thinks Comey is too small. That's pretty far out. I'm actually kind of excited by that because I was getting to the point where I thought actual human Go, we were in danger of having to shrink Comey again, right? If we keep having better and better AIs tell us that our Comey is too big again. So anyway, I'm actually glad that that's a disagreement among the robots. They can have their own conversation and we just are the little peons that pick up the scraps. All right, so White does this, and Dwarm plays here, which I think is a very nice move. And Elf doesn't have a problem. I don't know what Elf spit out for a percentage. I didn't write them all down. I really only marked off certain key moves that were huge swings in terms of being mistakes. But yeah, I think that's a very nice move. White player played here. Why would you do this if you were white? This move by itself doesn't take the corner. If you just wanted the corner, this would actually be a better move. And this would even be a better, if you only truly wanted the corner, this would be the best move. If that was your only desire. Every other point in this board was dame, and you said, I just want the corner. You play there.
Is it to weaken that stone?
Sort of.
A sequence to take the base.
We're restricting its movement, right? Preventing it from getting a base. And why do we want to prevent it from getting a base?
You can chase it and stuff.
We already have a stone here.
So we can get a base from that side.
Well, it's when black plays here and white plays again, these two stones naturally want to extend here, like to here. But actually, this is the most natural extension, right? If this white stone wasn't here, you said black played on a move on this side, this would be the move. But who already has a stone there? So white is happy with making black heavier and letting black get stronger here because we're already attacking it. We're putting black into this attacking position. Now, here's the thing. Dwyer doesn't play here because he knows all this, right? He's like, I see what you're doing. You're gonna make me heavy. You're gonna come after. You're gonna attack me. I don't want to do that. I'm not playing your silly little game. I'm gonna go down here and do this. So, what do you think Elf thinks?
It's probably okay, but not the best.
Elf thinks this is a big mistake. We just went from almost just a better than 50-50 game. Now we're playing a 2/3 chance for white to win this game. With this. And the reason, right, is that even though black gets heavy and can be attacked, black actually is happy to fight over here. Look at, black already has this formation restricting white as well. It's not like black is the only one restricted. White already doesn't have a lot of places to go or anything to gain from fighting over here, while black does. So this is even though it feels like black's under attack and that's why white wants it, black's okay with that because it's still it's a fair fight. We're just going to a fair fight. When we play this, now we're just saying, hey, look at this side of the board we've been fighting over, we've been emphasizing. White can just play here and basically say, no, that's mine. And so it feels lackluster. So indeed white does.
Would Elf have stood?
Say that again?
For black, would Elf have stood?
Elf, this is the move Elf wants to
Elf
play,
is-
yes.
okay.
Yes, Elf agrees, this is the move. And so this versus this, we swing that win percentage 15%, right? Here, it's like 50, it's even better than 50-50, right? Here, we're now down to, 35-65 in this one move, according to Elf. I didn't put it in Leela 0. I suspect Leela 0 would also come up with the idea that this was a failure. I doubt it would have swung 15 percentage points. It's a little bit softer. Someone out there in the internet can go do that and write in the comment. See what happens if you put this position in Leela 0.
How often do people do that in the comments? How often do people respond to your cries for people to do things in the comments?
Oh, so I would say as far as people doing the things that I tell them to go do, like never. But as far as people just doing just random weird shit like on their own, that's kind of interesting. They do that all the freaking time. And of course, a comment that I've had several times now is that I've had the comment of, oh, I love your channel, but you shouldn't have swearing on it. And to which my response is always the same: just go watch Dwyer's channel, right? Because he doesn't swear. I'm like, just go watch Dwyer. If that's a problem, there's already a better Go channel for you. So, yes. Okay. All right. His opponent indeed plays here. Dwyer continues down here, which is pretty big. Elf doesn't have a problem with this move. I don't remember the smooth percentage. It wasn't its first choice, but it wasn't like its last choice either, which is fine. And white backs off. That's good. Elf likes that. But then Dwyer plays a very human move. And Elf's like, we've taken this game. This is the human move Dwyer plays. First, tell me the idea before I'll tell you what Elf would have played. What is the idea here?
To reduce white's corner territory?
Yeah, number one, reduce white's territory. When white plays this move, white would really like to also play here, because that's, boom, just 15 points. Nice, solid, can't be destroyed, projects influence. Like that's a nice shape, right? So black plays here, saying, no, you don't get all of this white, you only get some of it. What
Also
else
helps stabilize this group?
Yeah, we're really looking, black is really looking to play one more move around here. And, this isn't the biggest group in the world, it's 10 to 12 points, but it's really solid. And we're in the middle of white's influence. So to have a really solid, stable group in the early game in the middle of white's influence, that's pretty cool. This would be like a very human objective getting to this point. Elf doesn't like it. And part of it is because robots in general do not like this move. Like, they're playing this less and less. This is seen as too bubbly, right? There's too many dame here. There's not enough. There's just dame, right? There's moves that aren't worth points for both players. And so if you have a lot of moves that aren't worth points, that means the shapes are actually kind of inflexible. Like, they're actually not very interesting. They can't really be developed. They're just, damn. He's really digging into those snores now. Like he's getting real lawnmower-y. Yeah, okay. So robots are tending to play this type of variation more often. These little bubbly jumping moves, they don't like as much. That's one reason. But the second reason is that Elf loves Tatsunuki. Elf likes a lot of things going on the board, and he just wants to play the one biggest thing on the board that's 0.5% bigger than anything else. And it looks at these two stones and goes, hey, these are kind of flexible, right? This stone can still leap in the corner and just be abandoned, or we can still play this and just make a base here, or we can still play here and link the two. It's whatever. We can do things. We don't have to. There's no reason to make this area bigger. This area isn't as big as these other open sides. And so Elf's like, yep, I'm coming up here. That's, of course, not what Ryan plays, but that's the wrong move. Hey, Dan. You snored.
Really?
Yeah. All right, so we talked about this move, all right, a little bit about being very human. And we said black would really like to get this formation. So what do you think white does? Oh, by the way, Elf was like, this is like a 10% loss. You're already taking a losing game, and now you're down to instead of 1 out of 3, you're losing, now you're losing 1 out of 4. Or you're winning 1 out of 4, however you interpret that percentage. Yeah, 3 to 1, 2 to 1. What do you think the human response to this is? Because white plays a human move.
Maybe Kosumi or play the center of black shape that you want.
That's it. Yeah, this one.
Really?
That's what the human played, not the robot. Elf. So now, now we know how. Remember how like black was like 25, white was 75, right? Like 3-to-1, kind of odds of winning. Elf looks at this and goes, white, you just lost 22% of your advantage. We're almost back to 50-50. It's not like 55-45. Guess where Elf wants to play?
The place of black.
Yeah, Elf wants to play up here, of course. And again, part of the reason is because Elf isn't scared about anything over here. If black plays this, we just play over there. Like it's Miai, right? If your shapes are flexible, then it's not that important. So if nothing's important, go take a big point. Also in this shape, this I think I pointed this out last week too, but I'll just say it again. Why robots don't like this move? Another way to think about that is imagine this situation, and white plays here. Where does black play? Do you play here? Probably. Do you play here? Probably not.
Yeah, it looks real good.
This looks really weird, right? And so again, robots avoid this move because of this type of ending shape it can end in. Which is anyway, we don't get that. We get the human move. And again, this is very traditional, right? We see what black's doing. We want to disrupt black. Again, that's a very human emotion, human characteristic. You see your opponent wants something, you must take it away at all costs, even if what they want is wrong. We've all had that. We've all had siblings, right? Where, they had something we didn't have, and maybe it was like, a peanut butter pretzel, and we're like, that's mine. And then your mom's like, but you don't even like peanut butter pretzels. And you go, I don't care, I want it. Right, this is what the robot sees when the humans do this. Couple choices here for black, but black takes the we'll say quasi-fighting one. Jump out, very natural. White brings out this stone. White could actually come back and play this way. This would also be a very human way. And basically use the stone as aji, as a sacrifice. So black still kind of got what black wanted. But this stone is not super dead yet. Like there's these things we can do to annoy, especially if we get any other stones on the outside here. So this would be like a formerly explored human outcome. But no, we don't get that. We get white coming out. And then another human move would be to play here, but Dwemer does not play at this time. Whoops, this was on here. I lied. Dwemer now plays there. And again, this is very human. White follows up. The robot, actually after this jump, the robot says the game's 50-50. Like forget about that whole like white winning the game by a lot.
Hey, man, look at it. Still good, I mean, but
robot
way to accomplish.
Well, here,
Black got the 3 feet.
robot doesn't like this game, so now black's winning.
I think
according
so.
to Elf.
I think
Okay, okay.
this was good for
Well,
black.
just wait. White plays here. And then black plays another move that when I was watching the game on his YouTube channel, I was really enamored of. I was like, oh yeah, of course. That's what a great nice move. Elf, of course, didn't like it. And then puts the game back waiting for white again. Here. And many of you guys, when you're looking at a 4/4 stone, you're used to approaching here. This is also a common approach when white is stronger. When you have to grovel a little bit more, this is usually the way you approach the 4/4. Do you guys know this already? Cool. This is the groveling approach. This is your happy-go-lucky approach. This is your I want to dream big approach. I have big dreams. This is your I'm Takamiya approach. My dreams are bigger than anything you've ever encountered. All right. But anyway, this is our sad groveling approach. But it works nicely with this stone. Like, because now when this stone runs out, it's like, hey, we're already making a base right here very naturally. And the move white played, Elf, of course, also didn't like. That's just how AIs are.
Who's white?
This is two humans.
Oh.
But I put this into the Facebook AI. Human plays here. And I thought, when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's pretty good. All right, I can see. You know, it's a pretty normal, actually, it's a pretty normal move. But this would also be normal, and Elf like this one a lot better. The difference, there's a couple differences. Number one, when white plays here, black still actually has the choice. Black can live in the corner, even if white can hum in here, which is still tricky. And if white plays this way, we still, oh, I guess we're not quite alive yet. It depends on these cuts. No, we have this and this sente. Because of this cut. So this, black can live like this. So we can still go to the inside. In this case, because we want to make use of this stone, Dwyron goes to the outside.
I think you got an extra stone for white in the corner.
I do, thank you. I do that a lot. Again, like I said though, white, Elf didn't like that move, it wanted this move. It really wanted black. It really wanted to encourage black just to go in the corner directly. I was like, yeah, you should definitely belong in the corner. When you play this move, you're giving black too much of a choice. And Dwyron plays here, but a 16% better move, according to the AI, would have been to start using this Aji right now. And again, this is this is a very difficult reading for humans. But AIs like Elf get really good at this, where you see these like Tanukiing kind of back and forth probe / answer / let's make a bunch of trash stones into something. Very Lee Sedol kind of style. Not that he's necessarily the best player in the world anymore, but again, this type of like hop 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 kind of thing was very much indicative of many of his tournament games. So Elf really wants to play here and start using this Aji, and then come back and figure out what to do here. And it's very, very schizophrenic in that sense, and makes learning from Elf very difficult if you are a really strong Go player. Because I assume that many of you who are watching or here tonight are thinking, oh man, wouldn't it be cool if I go home and download, Elf and learn from like this super awesome, superhuman robot? No. Isabella's going, no. But man, yeah, it is like talking to a schizophrenic person. It's really difficult to understand its thought process. It's really difficult to learn from. It might actually works, because you can learn things from schizophrenic people, right? Just might make it a little more difficult. Anyway, he plays the human move. His opponent takes the corner, and he plays here. What do you think? I didn't actually talk about this shape earlier because here, I'm gonna go back for a second. Remember when I said I really liked Dwyron's move here? Elf just wanted to play here. And the idea is, hey, this is actually, I think the idea, again, I'm reading into the robot psychology, which who knows what the hell it's thinking kind of thing. Hey, this white group actually doesn't have a base. If I get stronger here directly, I can live by attacking. And so that makes sense. Dan's going, no?
Okay, whatever.
Well, I don't know, this is a super godlike robot, Dan. I want you to play it and see what happens. This is the best move the robot came up with.
Really? But why don't you just take the corner now, and then you'll have two groups? And it's gotta.
Because if white is busy doing this,
Okay, that's.
now all of a sudden black is but black is the stronger one.
Black's not alive, even alive.
Yeah, but one of these groups has better prospects.
I guess the real issue is the two stones, white stones on the right. There was some.
This is not settled either, right? This gets into a running
I guess
fight.
that's it. But
look, we essentially have 4 running groups, right? One of these groups already has a base.
one of them, sure.
And it's the black one. So if there's
Sure,
4 running groups, it benefits.
But I see nice stuff there for white. These have hard cash.
But
And
black has cash too.
black has some cash.
Black has cash too.
I guess I'm just looking over there.
Anyway, so here, we'll go back to the human sequence here, and then here. But now this move is wrong. Before this is the move the robot wanted to play, but now it's like, no, you failed me.
Too small or
It's not too small,
Tanuki?
because we've committed. We've committed to digging in here. And so it wants a stronger shape. It doesn't want to be poked and have these defects. Because, if white continues here, it's actually starting to look like it's not too difficult to get eye space. Like actually very nice, hard to mess with kind of eye space. When we play this one, our eye space question is actually much more a question. White wedges in the game. Get this up. Black plays here to try to link up. And it also helps make shape. But after white plays here, there's a problem for black. Does black have two eyes here is the first question.
Well, if you say there's a problem, I'm going to say no.
Correct. There's a problem. Yeah, the answer is no. What's the other problem with this move?
Is it threatening to cut through his shape on the right?
Yeah, now we're exposing this weak connection. And so, you have to do what you have to do to live. This is how Go players get in trouble all the time, right? They squirm over here for a little while, and by squirming, they get their opponent stronger, and then their opponent gets stronger, and they can come back and take advantage of a weakness over here. It's a tale as old as time. So Dwyvern's still kind of feeling uncomfortable, so he pushes out, says, hell, maybe now, maybe I can attack this thing, right? Maybe now I can lean on it to get the rest of the eye space I need. His Facebook elf says just play here, like white is fine, white will actually be able to surround, and black will have to spend a move to live, black won't die, but white will get a very big center, all of white's stones will be strong, white can have the first move to come back over here and do whatever white wants over here. White does not do that, white plays here. Facebook says, Facebook AI elf says, this is a 20% mistake. Like just attacking the eye space directly like this push, you're not getting much. Like you're only destroying eye space. There's nothing else for you to do here. And given the fact that this white group isn't alive yet, I think black is okay to run out. It's not like white can get these in Sente, right? Because this connection forces white to play another move. But elf really wants the next move for black to be here. Again, is this super happy, like, hey, we got a bunch of garbage stones that are all kind of coming together. Let's make more. It's going to put together some sort of master plan. The nice thing about this move is, if white does something, this Atari becomes useful, right, for helping this outside and attack this. And if white protects this Atari, well, later on, if and when black connects here, black has moves like this to get in the corner. Black can come around this way, or black can come down this way. Isn't that dirty? So this is kind of like the thing that elf is aiming at, right? Elf is trying to make white over-concentrated, and then still have Anji problems. And that's just a shape thing. Like if you guys have played enough Go, or done enough shape Tesuji or problems, like you start to see things like this, where there are these shape issues. Where can you take advantage of your opponent's shape? Anyway, none of that happens because Dwyvern just plays here. Dwyvern's just like, leave me alone, I just want to live. And white's like, okay, I'm coming. He probes once. Again, sort of making use of that Aji, but without this exchange first, so it's not quite as potent. He asks one more time, hey, by the way, can I come out? White says no. And he goes, thank you very much, I just like to live, leave me alone. So what did black gain here? Life. About 3 points, maybe 4. In terms of actual gains, not much. The most, like we're looking for things, we're looking for points, we're looking for weak groups for our opponents. We want to see things that can benefit us in the future, right? Help us winning the game. The only thing we got was white didn't make 20 points over here. Look at how open this board is. This is a little bit early in the game to be preventing your opponent from getting 20 points. That is the only thing we got. So after this move, Elf says, that's a 30% swing. Like forget about this being a 50-50 game. You are now living in like the teens of win percentage here. Like this is now like a 5-6 to 1 kind of game for black to come back and win. Elf wanted to start a fight here somehow and only live when it absolutely needed to, right? Can we get some more forcing moves against this group? Can we harass this group a little bit first? And then we'll come back and maybe make life later when we need it. But right now we have liberties, we can fight for a little while. And if we have to, we can even give it up later too. If we get enough free stuff on the outside, then, you know, hey, that's 20 points. I can find 20 points.
So what did it wanted to play the same move?
Elf wanted to play it.
Has to play. He can't play the movie.
No, this is no good. And then the next move for white. Anyone want to know where it is? What would you play? Because it wasn't the move I played, right? When white played this move, when I was watching Byron's game, I was like, oh, that's a mistake. But Elf agreed with him, and I went, oh. Because that's clearly a problem with my own go, right? Like if I'm like, oh, look at that player, he made a mistake. But then the really strong people are robots. Yeah. I'll tell you my move. My move is to play here.
That's true.
This is a very human move, right?
Yeah.
No.
Kind of feels like you owe that.
It feels like you owe it, doesn't it?
Do you cap the 2 stones that are jumping?
This is idealistic. In this case, I don't think it helps you. I think black will continue to make a base over here or just cut through. Like it doesn't have enough meaning. Like you always want to hem your opponent's groups in, like that's great, but in this case we don't quite have the resources available.
Huh. Feels like a slower version of your move.
Isn't it? That's why I was sure this was a mistake. I was like, oh, hey, why didn't white just play there? Ah, what a dumb white player.
Is it because there's now Aji to disconnect?
Hey, yes. But this is the move. Now this does help this group. Not as big or in terms of the rest of the board, but number one, this move absolutely helps the survivability of these 2 white stones. But more importantly, right, we can start playing moves like this and taking this Atari. We can even start playing moves like this. And if, let's show you some variations. Oh, actually this variation doesn't quite work without this exchange. I want this exchange. If black blocks, what do, black? Do you take this stone? This one little stone? Hey, who wanted to cap? Scott wanted to cap, right? Well, what's better than capping? How about we just cut him off in Sente? That'd be even better, right? Actually, I guess it's in Sente because you invested this move, so it's still it's a go take. They're threatening to do it in Sente, so same result. But man, that'd be better than capping. Look at this wall. Look how few points black has. That's great. This. Yeah, this is the real meaning of this move, right? It's threatening these shape points. And so, actually, after this move, Elf says that the game is 94% to 6% in favor of white. Isn't that crazy?
Doesn't look like it.
Would you guys take white here? Like, is it like, oh yeah, of course, white's winning by a lot?
Not obvious.
It's not, man. It is not. And I suspect, actually, if I gave you guys this position, and I said, okay, raise your hands. Who would like to be black here? All right. Who would like to be white? All right. How do you think the class poll would end up?
Probably more black than white.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking it's probably at least 50-50, maybe worse. But I was like, oh yeah, if it's white's turn, yeah, of course I want to be white. 94% chance to win. Of course. Byron plays here. Just to prevent any of that from happening. And then Elf plays here, which in his video, in Dwyer's video, he says, this is a mistake. And Elf didn't think so. And I was looking at it and going, I mean, kind of, but not really. Why do you think Dwyron thought this was a mistake?
Leaves behind invasion point?
Yeah, like if you have a stone, how far can you normally expect to extend from that stone on the third line and be safe? 2 spaces, right? This is just, go spacing. If you get to about 10Q, you start to get to a good feeling for this. Especially when black just invested a move here, right? Making sure this stick was strong. So if we're leaving a defect next to a black or nearby strong black stone, yeah, we got to take advantage of it. Dwyron plays here first, right? Really, really emphasizing, hey, I'm going to come here. You have no business over here now. I've blocked this off, so you have a defect. You made a mistake. You owe me a move, right? Dwyron was expecting white to play something like this. Whereas if white had just played this, and then Dwyron played this, white would be like, okay, I'll go do something else. That's fine. Settle. Done. And Dwyron was like, hey, there's a defect. White's all like, nope. Don't worry. Not gonna worry. And the reason why white isn't worrying, or one of the reasons, is because this isn't really just the normal situation where white has one stone 3 spaces away from another stone. White also has this too. So there's another resource here for whites that we don't want to shortchange. But even so, yeah, to my eye, this looks like a little suspect. Like I'd be aiming at this, right? Later on, like later mid-game, this is where I want to go. Like this is one of those things you want to take advantage of, where your opponent overextended. Have you guys seen this attachment before? This can sometimes play out like the 3-3 invasion. But when you want to make sure your 3-3 invasion is facing that way, instead of getting black at a wall here, you can play this move. And of course, it almost never ends up being a 3-3 invasion because your opponent almost always takes the corner points like this. And normally for white would turn here and then make some sort of base over here, depending on what else is. That's the normal expected thing. White did not do this. White did something very close. In fact, this part happened. This was all a normal game. But instead of turning here, white played here. And I've done this in my own games, and I've regretted it. Like, this turn is a really important move for both players. Like, it's a really, really big move. It doesn't look like it, especially because after you play this, it looks like black is getting a really nice corner, right? Isn't that just a nice, shiny corner you want to live in? It doesn't feel like if we don't make this exchange, like, oh man, look at all the stuff white can do in here, right? It looks like there's just more stuff to mess around with. But the problem is that this move for black is really good. Now these 2 stones are just running. And so it doesn't matter what white can do in here. If black can just make an infinite wall this way, black can deal with it. White played here. Elf didn't think this was a mistake though. And this was more of my surprise. Like I lost a few percentage points, but it wasn't nearly as big as just living or doing any of these other things. It wasn't one of the crazy variations. Indeed, black played here, and white just played here. And this looks like a very sad variation, right? White could have had this, right? White could have had a nicer shape, and instead ended up with this crotchety, small, stale group.
Stale.
For black makes the exchange. Dwyron's like, yeah, I'm gonna do that thing. Punish white. And I think he says that in the video too. He's like, it's time to punish white for his insolence, for overplaying here. 1 space too far. How do you think this goes?
Badly.
Elf freaks the hell out. Like, Elf is just like, you guys are just dumb. Like, all of you. Like, everything you're doing is dumb. All right, here we go. This move, you guys know this connection? The third line, you can kind of get a connection over the top or the bottom if you attach to a third line stone in the middle. It's not a very good connection. as we're going to see, because the players are going to fight over it. But it's something. Now let me find the first moment where Elf is yelling. Elf doesn't really mind any of this. Elf is like, okay, I'm not happy you're over here, but whatever, it's fine. Elf has not freaked out yet. All right, so black cuts here. How does this position look to you? What do you think's going to happen? Black to play. Oh, sorry, it's not black to play. White to play. Sorry, it's white to play. White to play. No, it is black to play. No, it's white to play. It's white to play. Oh man, I have to stop getting ahead of my. I have to stay with the game record and not just look at the shapes on my iPad. White to play. What do you think? What is going to happen?
Take one of the 3 Ataris.
Take an Atari. Nope, that's what no one plays.
Okay.
But yeah, you see, well, actually there's 4 Ataris, right? You could Atari here, 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 and here. Nope, let's not take any of them. All of these Ataris are bad right now.
If you count that, then there are 2 more Ataris.
Oh. Oh, here?
Yep.
And here?
Yep. You counted 2 on the outside stones. I figured you could count 2
You're
more on the
right. I
inside
miscounted.
stones.
You got me. You got me. The problem with any of these Ataris is they help our opponent more than they help us. Especially one like this. And you go, why does that help my opponent? Look how many awesome things I'm doing. Look at all my fancy Ataris. I can even make shape here, or I could attach, or maybe I can get out that way. That's probably not true because there's a problem there. But you know, there's a ladder. But here's the thing: if you give black this stone, black has this move. That gets annoying real fast. It's cut, especially with a strong stone here, right? Dwyron made sure this stone was strong. If black has a strong stone here and a strong stone here, this cut is just great. Definitely don't want to just make that kind of Atari just willy-nilly. Oops, white, black. Instead, white's going to look for more opportunities first. Maybe we can get a little bit stronger by leaning on stones over here. And black's idea is like, hey, look, I'm kind of surrounded with only one eye. Let's see if we can get a little more space. I'm going to force white to be in this kind of a bad shape. I think this is really not bad shape. This is awkward. Just a stick sort of facing this way. And now black's going to play this move anyway, right? Black wants to play this move because, hey, there's this cut here. And this move will help this, and this move will help attack these 3. All right, here we go. Next move for white, if Elf says, no, this is a 20% loss. Like you just took, remember how we were 94% back here? This is, no, we're sliding. White plays here. Where do you think Elf wanted white to play?
Take the cut.
No. The cut is big, but I think what Elf is thinking is these stones aren't actually important, or aren't the only important stones. Let me put it that way. Like these stones are important because these stones are kind of important, right? If white is strong here, white can kill this over here. Do you guys know this move? This is a killer move. You should know this one. This is a great move. White really wants to find time to like play a move like this, where black has to spend more time to capture this and only get one eye out of it. But Elf wants to play here first. If white can make this group safe, then we can come back and fix the cut then. And if black doesn't respond over here, white's going to start looking at this cut. Remember this thing, how I said turning here was really big, but it gave black a really nice shape? Well, white played really submissively in order to keep this Aji open. Like really submissively. And so because there is this cut, black is in a little bit of danger in this entire corner. So keep that in mind. Anyway, white plays here. And Dwyron plays a good move. Just plays here, helps this, helps connect here, keeps pressure sealing it on these. And immediately you can already feel like, oh my god, there's a lot more pressure on these 3 stones now. Like you can sort of realize, oh, wait a second, I really did want to play there because now if black extends here, no problem. Now I can fix cut. and black can't cut me because I can read and know that there's the Tari, right, all sorts of ways for white to break out. So white played here, and Dwarven fixed, so that was good. And Elf really wants this move next. Human only played here. Elf says, look, you just lost another 24% chance. If you were going to play this way, if you're going to make this group over here, it needs to exist, you know, literally it's life and death on whether or not you effectively harass this cut, harass this group. And if you're off by a line, right, or a jump, and you do not make the correct shape to harass this group, this is going to go real bad for white real fast. Dwarven plays here. Again, this is sort of a forcing move, and again, it helps give this black group another liberty. Although it actually doesn't really change the life or death status of it. It still only has one eye when white plays here. So I'm not sure if this is needed or not. Elf says it's fine. Elf doesn't care either way. So he makes that exchange. And then here, all right. So remember how white just played two moves that lost it 20% each move? That win percentage is just going woo. Black plays move. That's a 38% loss. And oh man, is it a shitty move. Because black can read. Black's like, hey, I'm not alive here. I should get more space to make eyes so I don't have to come back and capture this thing. So black plays here. 38% loss. This is not at all what's important right now. This is not what black should be doing. Black is not in the business of living on the second line here. White was already willing to give these 4 stones up in exchange for this cut, right? Like this was kind of a plan that white kind of had. So totally missing the mark, not accomplishing anything. Of course, black is thinking, hey, now I have another way to live. I can link up over here. That's terrible. 2 moves to make this group live. This is, well, you have all this other stuff going on. Not good enough. White in the game plays here, and again we just lost 40% for white, and lost 40% for black. So now all of a sudden white is way up again on the chart. Here, computer's all mad again. It's like 26% loss. I'm slapping you back down because you idiot didn't come back over here and play the thing you were aiming at. You have to remember, right? Black played this really slow move over here, right? Black already invested one too many stones in this neighborhood to get influence here. So yeah, Robot does not like that move. And oh my God, Black's like, oh my God, I'm not alive still. And he does this again. Do you remember this one? He does it again, 36% loss. So now we're back in like way in white's favor again. And the thing about this move is it actually makes this and this kind of bad, right? We don't need either of these moves. If we want to do this, we could have just done it. So, Dwyron poked here twice, giving white more valuable moves, right? Each of these moves is only worth an extra point. Or white got to play 2 moves that were worth much more than a point. Just to ultimately come back and have to live anyway. AI.
What did it extend? Black extend?
No, black is captured, but what black should have done, black should have played here.
You should have gone there.
Black should play here. And the thing I don't think Dwyron sees is that if white keeps here, it's not like white actually has time to do anything here. Even this, let's say this move to separate and threaten to kill.
Well,
because this wedge shorts the liberties on this stick too much. Like white actually can't fight with the liberties this short. Even if you only let black get 1 eye, right, there'll never be enough liberties on this group to approach the group from under here because of this wedge. So let's go back to the position here. Black plays this dumbass move. And
Black has 1 extra move in the corner.
Oh, thank you.
that's a big move.
This?
No, the one
here?
Yeah, black.
Oh yeah, huge
on
move.
the robot.
Oh yeah. Robot is screaming the whole time like, you guys are being dumb. We're working over here right now. Guess what white does?
Connects.
No!
Yay, you finally can.
We're working with humans, not robots.
Took him a while, we got there.
What'd you say?
You finally capped. You did the bad move that I was
That's right. That's right. Finally came up in the group. Oh man. So because your opponent played a really slow move over here, you played a really slow move over here. Same kind of thing. Black plays here. And again, all right, you ready for it? So white is like way up in this game. Like white even after all this, if white just plays here, we're having a great game. Here's white. This is safe. We're out now with this. We can cut off these two stones. You know, maybe black can get something here, but we'll take over the corner. Even if black can kill all these, like we'll get either these two or these two in compensation for it. This is not small over here. This is not very big. This is not very big. This is not very big. This is black's only territory, and we get Comey. We're white, and especially if we capture these two. This is way bigger than, I mean not way bigger, but at least as big as that. So, yeah, white would have a great game. Guess what white did? An 80% loss on the game swing. This is what I mean by elf just going bam, bam, bam. Because he plays here. Wow.
You get greedy. Trying to cut more stones apart than you should.
Mm-hmm. He's trying to fight his way out through these little groups rather than just take something. Just take something. All right, guess what? You just saw an 80% swing. It's not as big. Black should just play here and just fix it, right? If it exposes white, you can still get out, you can still cut off, you can poke, you can do all sorts of things. Black plays here for a 75% swing back in white's direction. It's like, and we're laughing, but it's like, I would mess this up in my game too, right? This is like, even double-digit Q players, when you know the stronger players are hovering over your board and like, oh my god, we can't say anything because both players don't know what's alive or dead in the corner, right? This is kind of like that, just in a harder situation, right? Both players need this point, you know, in order to win the game, and neither one sees it or thinks they're entitled to it. White plays here now. Black, you know, black is here. We'll just play a few more moves. Black gets some compensation, I guess I'll say, but it's not enough because now white has this move. And I think before when white played this, we had a 94% win chance for white. This is a 98% win chance for white at this point. You see how nice this move is, right? Check out these three. These two, as long as these four get out, these two are dead. You can't make life with these two stones. And right now, these three need to like run or die. And it's like, well, I guess I'll run them. So I don't know what else to do. This is a 98% chance of a one game for white. This is a 98% game for white. This is a 50 to 1 for him to lose the game. Did I do the math right? 50 to 1? Oh, I didn't push that one. That one connects first. Black takes this, because this is in Sente. Or sorry, it's not in Sente, but it's good Aji later for black to turn here to get to attack this thing. Right, later on, black doesn't do this yet, but when black turns here, white has to fill. Check out the liberties on this dumpling. Right. Okay. And we just have to have more liberties. Like right now, we have actually 4 liberties. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. White's only winning this by 1 liberty. It's a straight up catch anyways.
4, right?
1, 2, 3, 4.
No, doesn't the white
Oh, this one's shared. This one is a shared liberty.
Doesn't the white group only have 4? Oh, you're talking about adding the shared.
1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. It's 4 to 4, but they're. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
White has the first move.
Well, it's white's move right now. Yes. So that's big. Yes. So white plays here. Yeah, you're right. 4 to 4. Black just connects. So look, what black got to kill these. I'm going to point out something to you. I'm going to take this stone off the board, this stone off the board. Black got to kill these. But we wasted 2 moves doing it. These 2 moves have no effect on the death of these stones at this point in the game. Like that. Alright, so white just gains liberties. And push again. And white's okay, I just don't want to die over here. And black gets to turn. Alright. So at this point, when I was watching this game, I was like, oh, okay, that kind of worked out for black, right? Black got some compensation. White, of course, got this compensation, but that maybe that's a fair trade. You have a little bit of a weakness in this white group, but black also has a weak group, so maybe that's fair. But this is still very much white's game. Like, this is still white's in control here. This black group is actually much weaker than this stick. Partially because, black also has a little, like there's 5 liberties here, right? Black does have to be careful because this white group has 2. So this is really like a 3 liberty group. So there's that weakness. Black comes down here, and again, is going to try to attack this. So again, we have this weak black group, we have this weak white group, we have a weakish black group, we have a weakish white group. Is
this one of the Murder Monday videos?
I don't think so. I don't remember what the title of this video was, and I wish I did.
I think he explicitly plays games where he tries to play things on the edge, so either he's going to die or they're going to die.
That's right. Yes, that is a great series. I don't think this was one of them. I don't remember. Come on, YouTube people, go on the internet and actually make a comment. Find the link to Dwyron's video and put it in the comment for me so I don't have to work hard. White plays a move like this. Oh, part of the reason why I'm like, for all these moves, the game is so far in favor of white as far as Elf is concerned. Nothing moves the slider, right? It's like 98% for white, 99% for white, 98% for white, no matter what either player plays. And so from like an analysis perspective, if you're a beginner, or not even beginner, an intermediate or strong player trying to learn from Elf, and the game is at this state, Elf is worthless. Like, it's really hard to have Elf give you a good move, or at least tell you how good a move is, because it thinks the game's already over, right? So it's not trying anymore. So, yeah, it's pretty garbage. Here, I will skip ahead. We're not going to play the whole game. I will tell you kind of approximately what happens. A bunch more bad moves that I listed. Okay, here we go. Somehow, this basically white gives these up, allows black to cut through here, in exchange for even more white influence in the center. And then white starts a very severe attack against this black group, which runs all the way through here, and then this way. And they sort of fight a for proper shape. But it's really not that big of an important, like it's like a for an I kind of space, so it's black doesn't need it to live, black just needs a bunch of other moves in order to make use of the to live. Anyway, black eventually makes this live, but white gets more in the center, and then white gets to damage this, but then white screws this up, and black gets to recapture it. At which point, Elf thinks the game is like 50-50. Like we're back to from a 99% game to a 50-50 game. And then white makes a mistake and basically lets these die, and then the game's over. After all this running. So, yeah, I know that's anticlimactic, but I didn't pace myself well here. So Dwyron wins this game, right? There was twice, on 2 occasions, 3 occasions if you go to 94% or better, right? Like for white, for his opponent. Like 3 different times, Elf was saying he was a 94% plus chance to lose the game.
What does that actually mean, the percentage?
What does it actually mean?
Yes, because it certainly never seems to hold up.
No, because it's the robot's evaluation. It's its best attempt at actually trying to value a position.
Yeah, but...
And robots are, like, that's very hard to do in Go. Like,
what does it mean?
The way it's published, they say that's the chance it thinks it has to win the game.
Isn't that the number of Monte Carlo playouts where the...
Yeah, so that's what it used to be, but now they're relying on that less, right? So like even those playouts have gone to a more evaluation network, neural learning network. Yeah. And so I don't even think it's even that much Monte Carlo involved in those playouts. That's how it used to be done for sure. Monte Carlo Go in like 2005, 2006, 2007 was amazing because
Yeah, but in that, if you had like 50.3, that was great.
sure.
Right? But now it's 98 and
Well, again, the point, I think the overall story here is that ELF is really severe, right, with its evaluation network, right? It thinks something is either amazing and the game is over, or something is awful and the game is also over, and like nothing in between. So it's
How
kind
does
of,
it know when to resign? Does it not
I
resign?
don't know. Although this was an issue with the Go Congress, actually, because not that ELF lost, but it thought it was so far ahead it didn't need to play a move in one of the person's games. And so what happened was ELF, like in the middle of this game at the Go Congress, ELF passed, like in the middle game, like just in the mid game, it just passed. And the human player looked at the board and went, oh, I passed too. Which is kind of fantastic because the game should be over then.
right.
But Elf wants to play another move, like, and Elf's like, I'm going to pass again. And like, the people running it kind of freak out because they don't know what to do, like, because the game is not over. It's just that the human has no chance to win, and the Elf is like, 99.9% chance.
I'm amazed they put passing like that as a possible move into the AI.
I don't want to understand it. Again, I didn't actually see the game. I only heard the story like that afternoon it happened.
You'd have to, I think, because there's some positions where it can be disadvantageous to have to play.
Sure.
Yeah.
This is true. Yeah, eventually. So anyway, congratulations to Dwyron for having the best YouTube channel. Like that needs to be said. I hope he doesn't get mad at me for stealing one of his games. I didn't actually ask him for permission. Okay.
Do you ever talk to him?
Yeah, occasionally. Yeah.
They have a video together, more than one video together.
Yeah, we've made, I can't remember if it's one or two. I definitely remember one. Like there was one I did really horribly. I feel like there was two, but I've somehow scrubbed the second one from my memory.
Well, the one that I'm thinking of is you guys were like trying to guess what level
Yeah,
the
that was the one I
players were.
remember. That is the one I remember. Yes, I don't want to revisit that one. That one's. But yeah, once in a while, we've Skyped a couple times and sent a couple messages, but it's we don't. I've never met him in person, and maybe he'll go to the Go Congress this year because it's actually kind of close to where he lives. So there's that. I think he went to the Australian Go Congress this past year. I think.
Definitely recommend the Back to Basics ones, especially some of the earlier ones. He would like really talk through basics.
Yeah.
And
And that's a really nice thing about his channel that I don't do on mine, right? I'm just like throw everything in the pot, which is also how I cook dinner, by the way. Like I don't really believe in having multiple dishes, right? If I'm cooking dinner, like everything I'm making is going in one thing. Like you're getting one thing for dinner, and it's just gonna have everything in it. And so my YouTube channel is kind of the same. So anyway, yeah, he has a little more organization. He doesn't swear as much. He has better content. He's a little bit stronger. Go watch his channel.